Hello, my beautiful friend. It's Betsy Gutting. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I want to speak with you about the astrology of the last quarter of 2022. This is a time of big changes. I've already alluded to this in my videos on the Mars retrograde, the Mercury retrograde, the Saturn-Uranus square, and also we're coming into eclipse season. So what I want to do as we're starting out Libra season, in fact, you're probably, a lot of you watching this video right around the time of the Libra full moon on September 25th. The Libra new moon, I meant to say, Mercury retrograde. And of course, this video will take you all the way through to the end of the year. But we are in a time of transition. I'm filming this actually on the equinox, September 22nd, on the day of the equinox, which is always a big turning point. So for those of you in the northern hemisphere, the equinox, of course, is the fall equinox. We're going into autumn. And for those of you in the southern hemisphere, it is the spring equinox. Regardless, we are all feeling the vibrations of change, of a change of seasons moving through us. And if you've listened to my videos, past several videos anyway, you know that Uranus has been rippling changes actually ever since 2020. A lot of the outer planets have been involved, but we definitely have this energy signature with Uranus and Saturn squaring that is all about change. So what I want to do in this video is give you a bird's eye view, because we have been immersed in the details, immersed in the minutiae during Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde can take us into a time where we feel everything feels kind of hectic and a lot going on. I don't know how it's been for you, but for me, the mind can really be a bad neighborhood, and I've just had so many things going on. My mind is rushing ahead, trying to figure out the future, wanting guarantees, wanting to know that everything will work out for the things that I want. And we need, I think, to get a new perspective. So I want to invite you to imagine that you have a helicopter that's just landed on your doorstep, a really cool helicopter. Imagine what color it is. Imagine how it's decked out inside, but it is your own private helicopter. And I want you to imagine that you can get into your helicopter. You're stepping in right now. I am your captain, if that's what you call a helicopter. Someone who flies a helicopter. I am your pilot. Pilots fly helicopters. And we're gonna go up above. If you've ever taken a scenic helicopter ride, it reminds me of the Disneyland ride, the ride soaring over California. Going on that ride makes me cry. It makes me tear up, because you're literally flying above all these beautiful scenic sights, and it's so, it just gives you a whole new perspective of life. So imagine that you're in your helicopter now, we're about to take off, you're feeling liftoff, you're feeling the helicopter about to rise up, and I'm gonna give you a scenic overview of the points, the most important points of the astrology between now and the close of eclipse season, 2022. At the end of this video, I'm going to be doing a tarot card reading, so be sure you stay tuned till the end. And I also have a free gift for you, a free gift. So I will tell you all about your free gift at the end of the video, so be sure and stay tuned for that. And if you're new to me, I want to say hi, I'm Betsy Gutting. I'm an intuitive life coach as well as a psychic astrologer, and I love to serve as your believing mirror, as your creative champion, as the person who has your back, who lovingly holds you accountable for creating the vision that you have for your life going forward. So at the end of this video, I will tell you about my astrology consultations, as well as my soul alchemy coaching and my clarity coaching. So if you're interested in getting support, if you would like an astrology reading, you can find out a little bit more about that at the end of the video. So let's start with Libra season. Happy Libra season. We're just coming into Libra season, and happy birthday to all my Libra friends. The Libra full moon, the Libra new moon, I meant to say, is on September 25th, and that is all about regaining balance, finding harmony, creating win-win solutions, becoming very aware of our relationships with others and how we are interacting and how we are getting our needs met and how we are helping others to helping support others. during this Libra new moon, we have 6 planets in retrograde. We are in retrograde season big time. So this could feel like still a very internal time for you, even though Libra season is all about coming out into the world. Libra is the 7th house. It is, you know, if you think about on the zodiac wheel, you think about the first house being the self. It's very internal. And then the 7th house directly opposite it, that's the house that Libra rules. That is about us coming out into the world. How do we show ourselves to others? How do we want to be seen? How do we interact with others? How do we have mutual, reciprocal, caring, loving relationships? In Libra energy, we want mutual reciprocity. We're very aware when a relationship is imbalanced, when we're giving more than another, or when, you know, and could go both ways. But in Libra energy, that's when we want that flow in our relationships. That's when we want to have that social interaction, and we want to feel first and foremost that we're being supported. We're not doing alone. Someone else has our back. Someone else cares about the outcome of what it is that we're trying to create, and we are supporting others in the same way. Libra is also about choices, options, decisions, a lot about decisions, the scales, weighing our decisions. So right now you could be in the process of weighing a decision. It could be feel like a very big decision in your life. You could be feeling like, I'm about to be the fool, because during the Libra full moon, and I have a whole separate video for you on the Libra new moon, is what I meant to say, Mercury is retrograde. On the Libra new moon, there's an opposition with Jupiter in Aries, and that can make the energy feel bigger. It can make it feel like it's the magic of saying yes. It's stepping out. It's doing something new. It's saying yes to taking a whole new journey. So you could be ready to embark on something like that, and weighing your options, weighing your choices, figuring out what would work and what won't work. So the sun goes into Libra on September 24th. And the equinox happens just before that on September 22nd. So I think between September 22nd and September 24th, you would have been feeling some rebalancing, perhaps a little bit more of the lightness coming in. When the sun goes into Libra, I think we feel a little bit more light when we're leaving Virgo season. Virgo season can feel it can feel heavy, I think, in some ways, with details, with the minutiae. Virgo deals with the tiniest details, and Virgo wants to figure everything out. And often it happens in the intellect, in the head, and that can feel so like overwhelming, so overwhelming. So we're coming out of that. I've got to figure it all out. I've got to improve it. I've got to maximize it. Quick example. I recently was trying to figure out, I wanted a new credit card, and I was like, what credit card should I get? There are all these different credit cards with bonuses and points and air miles and different things. And, you know, just weighing all those different options and like which points are best for me and how I do my life. And do I want air miles, or do I want cash back, or do I want whatever? Like, that is such a Virgo thing. Like, we're trying to figure out how we can maximize whatever benefits and rewards that we want to take advantage of. We're also right now in the middle of Mercury retrograde in Virgo and Libra. I have a separate video on this, which I encourage you to watch if you want to go deeper into these energies. But Mercury will be moving into Virgo on September 24th, and it will go direct October 2nd. As Mercury goes into Virgo, out of Libra and into Virgo, we're fine-tuning our very earthly, everyday, mundane kind of details. We're fine-tuning things. With Mercury retrograde in Libra, we were focusing on a little bit of a bigger picture of what is our trajectory, what is our goal, what do we want that's going to bring us beauty, harmony, and balance. Now in Virgo, we're taking that vision of what it is that we want, and we are looking at the details. Now, you may say, I've already been going through, I'm figuring out all kinds of details. I have too. But this is going to be, I think, making some decisions in those areas and going back and seeing, where did I miss something? Was there something that kind of got lost in all the detail? Is there something that I didn't see? And how can I fix that or improve that or make that right? During this Mercury retrograde, we're workshopping our plans. What do I mean? Well, years and years ago, during my, what I call midlife crisis, it was actually, we all have a midlife chaos crisis period during when Uranus is opposing our natal Uranus. So this happened for me when Uranus was opposing my natal Uranus. I had a dream one night in which I was doing stand-up comedy, of all things. Never would have thought of that as an option. And I went for it. I did stand-up comedy for 2 years. Now I have a whole story about that, how I got to do that, and it wasn't like I woke up with this dream and then just like immediately was a stand-up comedian at all. I have the whole story, step by step, what happened in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes. But suffice to say for right now that when you do stand-up comedy, you have to workshop your material, or you want to workshop your material, let's say, before you bring it out into a show, into your act. Because if you get a really good idea and you say, okay, this is a great joke, I'm going to do this tonight, this Friday night when I'm doing a show, I'm emceeing a show, or I'm headlining a show, and it doesn't come off, people look at you with that stare of like, I have no idea what you're talking about or why you think that's funny. You're like a deer in the headlights. And so at least I was when I was doing comedy. And so every Monday night at the Comedy Underground in Seattle, when I was doing stand-up comedy, we had open mic nights. And the open mic nights are the time when you workshop your material, when you go and it's a bunch of comedians listening to each other's jokes, and you find out if they laugh, then you know it's funny, because comedians don't tend to laugh at each other's jokes. So that's what we're doing right now in the big picture, is we're workshopping whatever goal or dream or trajectory that we have right now. We're workshopping it. We're figuring it out. We're trying it out. We're talking to other people. We're bouncing ideas off of other people. We're brainstorming. We're saying, can I just tell you what I'm thinking about, and you tell me if it feels on course or off course to you. It's not that we don't know that deep down inside in our hearts, but all of us can really benefit right now from getting another person's ear, from getting another person's perspective, especially because a lot of us are thinking of doing something really life-changing right now, really, that may feel like crazy, or like, I can't believe I'm thinking about doing it. It may feel like I'm literally stepping off a cliff and I don't know if there's a net below me. And this is partly because we have the Saturn-Uranus square going on. Now that square will be exact in October. Let me give you the exact dates of that square. The exact dates of the Saturn-Uranus square, October 2nd to the 12th. But starting on September 11th, Saturn and Uranus were just 1 degree apart, and they will be 1 degree apart all the way till November 7th. So we're feeling this energy of, I have to do something different. And this is not the beginning of it, as I mentioned in my Saturn-Uranus square video. This is the 4th pass. We've had 3 passes already in 2021. This is the 4th one. But we are all feeling this need almost. It's like a need with Uranus and Taurus to innovate some area of our life, to claim our freedom, it's like the post-2020, I know what my values are now. They've changed. I am not doing life the old way. I am seizing this time, it's like the world became liberated in some ways. The world got very restricted, Saturn in Aquarius, but we also got liberated in the sense of, now I know my true values, and I'm not going to let anyone hold me back from what it is that I know I really need. And also because Uranus and Taurus rules money, rules finances, rules the markets. A lot of people, just because of their own financial constraints, they have to think out of the box. We have to come up with new solutions. We have to do things maybe that we wouldn't have done before, or take a chance that we wouldn't have taken before. So a lot of us are either contemplating doing something that feels really big, like a move, a job change, a career change, a change in our, family status, something, our relationship status, something that feels really big. Now Mars is in Gemini right now, and Mars will be in Gemini, as I spoke about in my Mars retrograde video, which you could also watch if you haven't watched it yet. Mars will be in Gemini for 7 months. 7 months. That is really a long time for Mars to be in one sign. And Gemini is the sign of the twins, the lovers, and the magician. Gemini is where we can feel that magic of saying yes, where we can feel those synchronicities and get those signs and feel like the alchemist, feel like we have waved our magic wand of intention, and people are showing up to help us. Now Mars is going to go retrograde in Gemini on October 30th. And right now in September, I can't remember the exact date that we went into shadow, but as of this video, September 25th, when this is being uploaded, we are in the shadow, the retrograde shadow period of Mars. So you could already be feeling this a little bit. Gemini energy likes to travel. Gemini energy likes adventure. It wants to explore. It explores in the mind and the intellect, and it explores in the world. It gets very excited by getting a different view, by getting a different perspective. And Gemini likes to meet different people, likes to talk to a lot of different people. It is like the butterfly going from flower to flower, getting a little nectar, going to the next flower, another little bit of nectar, and so on, because it wants to expand its mind. And so this energy is happening at the same time. And Gemini also helps us with change. It helps us to transition through change. So I find it very synchronistic that as we are having this Saturn Uranus square, as we have 6 planets in retrograde, as we are still in this Mercury retrograde, Mars will go retrograde on October 30th. And that will help us to make changes in the easiest way, because in Gemini energy, we want to get into the flow of change. We want to accept that our life is changing. We want to accept and claim it. Claim it, I'm choosing this. This isn't happening to me. This is happening for me. It's happening for me. It's for my highest good. And yes, it will be uncomfortable in moments. Yes, we will have, if you think about the Fool in the tarot, the Fool in the tarot is the 0, and we are headed to the 10, which is the culmination. Well, there's a tunnel between the 0 and the 10. I can't make a 10 with this hand, but there's a tunnel between those two. Or you could say there's a wide open path, however you want to look at it, right? We are going to progress from that 0 of the Fool to the 10, the culmination, during this Mars and Gemini 7-month period. And Mars will come out of its retrograde shadow in March. So between now and March, I think we're gonna all experience a lot of soul growth, a lot of excitement. And yes, probably moments of, why did I ever think I could do this? Like, I remember when I moved to Vail, Colorado when I was 22, and I was so excited. I moved there all by myself, and I bought a car with some scholarship money, and I drove there, and I just had enough money left to like rent a room and get started there. And I remember lots of nights of crying of like, why did I do this? I am so sad. I shouldn't have come here by myself. Da, 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 da. But I ended up meeting my former husband there. Now I'm getting teary of it just thinking of that, my younger self having to go through that. But I ended up meeting my former husband and have 2 beautiful daughters from that relationship and 2 grandchildren now. So if I hadn't said yes, if I hadn't taken that leap, if I hadn't followed my heart, I wouldn't have all of this sweetness in my life. The North Node is in Taurus. The North Node wants us to have a life upgrade. In the big picture, we're high up in our helicopter now. In the big picture, we can see we are headed to a life upgrade, my friend. That is what we are creating. We're creating a solid, sustainable foundation that is going to bring us the comforts that we need. Maybe not more than we need, but the comforts that we need, what we need in the realm of beauty, of money, of resources, of time, of energy, and of everything aesthetically pleasurable on planet Earth, the playground of life. This is Taurus energy. We are creating that life upgrade right now, and it may be so out of the box of what you thought you were going to do to get that life upgrade. I know I am right now in the middle of creating my own adventure, and it is so different from what I thought it was going to be. And as I alluded to in my last video, I will tell you all about it as I get closer to it coming to fruition. But I'm about to take an adventure to a trip to Puerto Vallarta. And in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, is where I wrote the beginnings of my book, The Magic of Saying Yes. I started there and I took a writing retreat there. I took 2 weeks in a condo there to write my book, and all kinds of things came from that trip. I ended up going back several times more to Puerto Vallarta, including the last time I was there, I did a book top at a Page in the Sun bookshop there in Puerto Vallarta. And so I'm about to take this big adventure. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna see people I haven't seen in a while. It's been 10 years since I've been back, and this is a very Mercury retrograde thing. It's very much, you may find this as well, that you are embarking on some adventure that's going to have you seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time, or people that, are from past lives. This time could feel like fate and destiny. It could feel like, North Node in Taurus, that is our destiny. That's the direction we're going in. We are headed in the direction of this life upgrade of our life purpose. And with Gemini energy of Mars in Gemini, Mars is our mojo. Mars is the part of us that takes action. You may be really contemplating doing something that is out of the box for you, that really is colorful, it's sparkly, it's exciting, but it may feel scary. It may feel like, I don't know what I'm doing, I don't know why I'm doing this, but your soul knows. Your soul knows your truth, and your soul always knows. Your soul is leading, so let your soul lead and ask Spirit for help. Ask Spirit for direction. Remember that Saturn squaring Uranus wants to liberate us, wants to free us. And with Saturn in Aquarius as part of the square, we are being tasked, tasked to not do it alone. Aquarius is the community, is collaboration, is coming together with like-minded tribe. This is a very important part of this signature of change that we're all in, is bringing in new like-minded tribe, connecting, networking, meeting other people. Sometimes it starts on social media and you make connections, acquaintances, and then you go meet people in person. Maybe even travel to meet people that you've met via social media. But Saturn in Aquarius is saying we have to do the work of gathering around us a community of people that we feel has our back, that even if it's one best friend, one new best friend who has your back, who's aligned with you, who wants to help you create your vision. So lastly, let's touch on eclipse season, and then I will do a card reading for us. So eclipse season is beginning October 25th, and the second eclipse, the lunar eclipse, will be November 8th. So October 25th, we have an eclipse. We have a partial solar eclipse in Scorpio at 2 degrees of Scorpio. I will do a separate video on both of the eclipses, of course. But for those of you who want to preview, this eclipse in Scorpio, which is a deep water sign, this is a sign of focus, determined focus, and getting to the root of anything that needs to be, detoxified from our life. This is going to affect those of you who have planets or points in the fixed signs between 0 and 6 degrees. So planets or points between 0 and 6 degrees of the fixed signs of Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, or Aquarius. And this eclipse is going to be conjunct Venus. So I love this energy. It's going to be Venus rules love, money, beauty, pleasure. I think some of us will be starting new relationships around this time, or increasing the intensity of our relationship, the intimacy. Scorpio is all about intimacy and true love, and it's shared resources as well. So I think this is going to actually be a really beautiful solar eclipse where we're going to be seeding new intentions for new beginnings, and they're going to be Venusian. They're going to be, around these beautiful themes. Think Aphrodite. Now, we also have a total lunar eclipse, which I feel is going to be a culmination. It's going to be a real culminating point for all of us in Taurus. And this synchronistically is going to be a full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus at 16 degrees. Now, this eclipse is just 2 degrees away from that Saturn-Uranus square point of 18 degrees. So this is going to, I think, trigger some of those energies of the Saturn-Uranus square. And it's also going to be opposed by Uranus. So we have that energy signature of change again. And I think for a lot of us who are already embarking on some big life change, I think for a lot of us, we're going to feel a culmination around that time for that change. I'm not going to say everything is going to be tidy and wonderful and we're going to be fully in our new life and all of that. But I think that, that's going to be a turning point eclipse, definitely. And that eclipse will most personally affect you if you have planets or points between 12 and 20 degrees of the fixed signs, 12 and 20 degrees of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, or Aquarius. Now, lastly, before I get to the card reading, I want to say that Pluto in Capricorn is at 26 degrees right now. Pluto is retrograde in Capricorn at 26 degrees and will be all the way till December 10th. Pluto in Capricorn has been retrograde at 26 degrees since August to December. That's a really long time to be retrograde at the same degree, 26 degrees. What is 26? When you reduce it to an 8 is the infinity symbol. It's access to our personal power. It's about personal power and success, worldly success, real world, tangible success. Pluto in Capricorn is where we've been building self-respect. We've been cutting away things from our life, or they've just been leaving our lives. Often Pluto energy is where we feel like we have no control, like everything external to us is out of our control. Things are leaving, things are coming in that we don't want. And we have to source our well-being from within. We have to really make some hard decisions about what stays and what goes. If you have had planets or points in Capricorn or any of the cardinal signs, Cancer, Aries, or Libra, between 23 and 28 or 29 degrees, you are definitely feeling this energy right now in some way. It could be deep, dark fears coming up about not feeling out of control, feeling like you have no control over what your future is going to look like. You have no control over, maybe you feel like other people outside of you are restricting you in some way, or they have power over what happens to you. And what does Pluto and Capricorn energy wants us to do? Remember that number 8. It wants us to remember that we're infinite, the infinity symbol. We're infinite. We can call on our spiritual support to show us what we can't see right now in our external world, to allow the gifts, the resources, the things that we need to bring our visions into real life, to show us those things, to bring them out of hiding. Because in Pluto energy, things come out of hiding. We see things that we didn't see before. We receive an illumination. In the big picture, we're all going to receive, I think between now and eclipse season, we're going to receive an illumination. What needs changing? What needs rebalancing? What inner power can we claim within ourselves? And remember that we're co-creating. That's the thing that we forget, right? Our egos forget that we're co-creating. And this illumination is you're creating this. You're with your soul, partnering with your soul. You are creating this. And if you don't feel like you have that connection right now with your soul, check out my book, The Magic of Saying Yes. It is linked below, and it's all about how to partner with your soul to create the soul-connected life that you really want. We all have a choice to improve our lives in some area right now with this energy. We all have a chance. But because we have the Saturn-Uranus square, we are being asked to do it in a different way. We're being asked to innovate. We're being guided to be more creative, to think outside the box, to let the world has changed drastically. We are changing from within, and we have to give ourselves permission, or we're being encouraged to give ourselves permission. If we want what we want, we're being very much guided to give ourselves permission to do something that feels very out of the box. It feels maybe like something that you would never do. But remember that you have support for that. This is a time to reinvent, my friend. We are reinventing ourselves. So again, if you haven't watched my video on the Saturn-Uranus square, I highly encourage you to go back and watch that. I think that will be very empowering for you. Okay, my friends, so let's do a card reading now from Libra season all the way till the end of eclipse season. That's about 3 months, right? We're here. Libra is the sun's going into Libra on the 24th. I'm filming this on the equinox, the 22nd, and this is taking us all the way to the end of eclipse season in November and into December, with that Pluto and Capricorn energy that I was just telling you about. Let's see what the cards have to say. Okay, so the first card is the Strength card, associated with Leo energy, major arcana. The second card is another major arcana, the Lovers, associated with Gemini energy, and we'll pull one more. So already 2 major arcana, which signifies big change. One more. And the third card is, ooh, I love this card so much, the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands. She is on fire, as you can see. She is totally open. So let's pull these together and read these together. So the first card that came out was the Strength card, and you can see there's so much sensual energy in these cards. So you can see the Strength card, she is sitting here having a picnic. She reminds me of the Empress. She's completely surrounded by animals, birds, and there's a raccoon, and there's so much beautiful energy. There's kind of sparkly chariot energy in the background. There's a full moon. This card reminds me of something coming to fruition, but it takes strength to get there. It takes fortification. We are fortifying ourselves. We are going through a transformation as we take steps. As we go from the 0 of the Fool all the way to the 10, the culmination, there is a process where we have to call on our strength, where we know our strength, where we feel our strength, where we become aware of a power outside of us. Because whenever you embark on something that you wouldn't have done, it's like the leap in the net will appear. Whenever we embark on something that is challenging enough that we can't do it on our own, in the sense that we need support from other people, we need the support from spirit, we have to pray, we have to be doing our spiritual practice. We can't do it alone. It's as soon as we act, then the universe can meet us halfway. That is the energy that we are going into. Now next, the second card that came out was the Lovers card. The Lovers card is, it can be very literal, like a new lover coming into your life, but it can also be, and I want to look at this card for a second. There are 2 cups. There are 2 people that are standing at an altar underneath the sun, and they're drinking from these 2 cups. The Lovers card is about choices and decisions as well. It's about, some people see it as a head over heart decision. But to me, in the Lovers card, we're seeking our other half, so to speak. And I don't mean like we need another person to fulfill us. I mean, we're seeking what is missing within. And as we do that, we're seeking either a literal person as a lover or an energy that can mirror back to us the truth of who we are. Because in Gemini energy associated with the Lovers, and we've got Mars going retrograde in Gemini, we want to be mirrored. We want to be understood. We want to be seen for who we are. It's very important. No matter where I move these, the light is still shining. But you can see in both of these cards, there's a lot of life. There's a lot of transformation. There's a lot of, there's drinking from these 2 cups of life, and finding the strength within. I love the Lovers card so much. The Lovers is also finding our soul brothers and our soul sisters, finding our twins in spirit. And as I was speaking about, Uranus and Saturn squaring, mentioning Saturn and Aquarius, wanting us to find our tribe, wanting us to find our soul sisters and our soul brothers. And we are in this energy. And finally, we have the Six of Wands, which is victory. We are victorious. And the 6 energy is about harmony and balance, Libra season. Okay, and she is ecstatic. She's in a state of ecstasy. You can see her whole body is open. Her arms, her legs, everything, her hair, everything's electrified. Everything's on fire. Everything is, she's vibrating. She's vibrating to the level of her intention for a life upgrade. This is what we're all moving toward, my friends, with Uranus in Taurus, with the North Node in Taurus. We're moving toward a life upgrade, a solid, sustainable foundation. She is realizing that life upgrade has either happened or it's happening for her. She's victorious, she's winning, she's created it herself along with her connection to the divine. She has done it. She is on fire. She, even though she may want to tell everybody she knows, she feels it within. There's a part of her that's like, I just want to enjoy this energy right now. I am so uplifted. So for some of you, this may be a relationship, the lovers, that comes in that takes you to a whole new level of ecstasy. For others of you, it will be an inner strength that you find within yourself, where you can go on a picnic by yourself and you know that you're surrounded by the life of nature, by animals. You're not, even if you're sitting alone, you don't feel alone because you're so connected to the universe. And it brings you a sense of being connected in love with your soul, your inner soul lover, your inner soul partner. So this is such beautiful energy. It really denotes a win, a success. The number 8, as I spoke about Pluto in Capricorn, 26 degrees, reduced to an 8, earthly success, life upgrade. We can do this. So, my beautiful friend, I want to thank you so much for your energy, time, and presence. Thank you for giving this video a thumbs up. Thank you for giving it a like. Thank you for subscribing to my channel so you don't miss another video. And at the same time, you're helping me to build my channel. And for those of you who share my videos, namaste. I thank you so much for your support. Your support means everything to me. Leave me a comment. Let me know what in this video resonated for you. My astrology consultations, if you would like support during an astrology consultation, I love to tell you about your chart. I love to tell you about where your planets were at the moment that you took your first breath and how your astrology, in what way your astrology chart is a blueprint of your soul. Whatever it is you're going for in your life, whether it's a change of work, a change of career, you know, whatever's up for you, money, relationships, whatever it is that your heart desires, life purpose, your dharma. It is my honor and joy to be your believing mirror, to reflect back to you what I see in your chart. Plus, we look at the current transits, what they have to say for your path going forward, and also the future transits that are coming up. So if you'd like to book an astrology consultation with me, go to my website. It's betsygutting.com. It's linked below. And for those of you who would like some coaching support, I have clarity coaching sessions, which are one-off sessions, as well as soul alchemy coaching to do a deep dive, transformational life makeover or self makeover, whatever it is, or you just need support because there's some big change happening in your life, or you're taking on something new and you know that we can't do anything great alone. I would love to support you. Again, links below, website betsygutting.com. All of the information you need is there. And I almost forgot, I also want to let you know that I have a workshop coming up. If you live in the Southern California area, or you want to come to the beautiful town of Laguna Beach, California, where I live and where I'm doing this workshop, October 9th for the Aries full moon, I'll be leading a guided journey along with a releasing ritual, and we'll be talking about the astrology of the Aries full moon. So come join us, gathering of like-minded tribe. I would love to meet you there. October 9th, all the information is on my website, on my events page. I will link that below as well. And as promised, I have a free gift for you, and that free gift is a guided meditation, returning home to yourself, reconnecting with your spirit. Just go to my website, subscribe to my inspirational updates. You will get inspirational article weekly in your inbox, and you'll get an instant download of my guided meditation, reconnecting to your spirit. And until my next video on the Aries full moon, which is October 9th, I will see you back then. Until then, I'm sending you all my love.